Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. I want to welcome all of you guys this morning to this beautiful Tuesday. And let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be doing some ELA. We're going to be reading about cardboard boxes and how they turn into different materials. And that one is titled From Pine Tree to Pizza Box. We are going to continue with the bar graphs in math. In social studies, we will be learning about immigrant families. We are going to do a little bit of science today, and we are going to discuss what is a life cycle and reading about the butterfly life cycle. And then for PE, we are going to be doing a little activity titled Commercial Break. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. And I have this book here, my Buyers and Sellers book, which is our Unit 9. And this morning we are on page 18. Okay. And my date. And boys and girls, this is an extended read. It is a long story. We are not going to read all of it today. I'm only going to do part of it. And we are going to be taking notes as we read along, okay? So just follow along with me, and I will try not to go too fast. That way you can take the notes, the same notes that I'm doing, making the same annotations. But always just remember that if I am going too fast, you can always pause the video and then catch up, okay? I have my highlighter ready and a pen ready so that I can take some notes, all right? Let's get started. From Pine Tree to Pizza Box by Amy and Richard Hutchings. Paragraph 1. Trees are very important natural resources. Trees make fresh air. They can be used in many ways too. Okay? So a natural resource, boys and girls, are things that occur naturally in nature. Like a tree, they grow naturally in nature, so that's why they're called natural resources. Okay? And trees, they make fresh air. They are the reason trees and plants, boys and girls, why we have oxygen. They can be used in many ways too. Trees provide homes for animals, including insects, birds, and squirrels. Some trees grow nuts or fruits that animals and people eat. So right here, boys and girls, I learned one thing, that trees can be used in many ways, okay? Aside from making fresh air, they make fresh air. They provide homes for animals, okay, including insects, birds, and squirrels. Okay? Some trees, they grow fruits that animals and people eat. So trees are used for many things. I'm going to write that over here. Trees are used for many things. All right. Paragraph 2. People also use the wood from some trees to make many things. Wood can be used to make furniture, pencils, paper, and more. So the wood can be used to make furniture, pencils, paper, and more. Pine trees are good trees for making paper and cardboard products. So a pine tree, boys and girls, is this one right here. This is a pine tree. And from this pine tree, they can make all kinds of things, guys. Take a look at this picture. They can make shelter with the wood. Okay, trees grow food. They make air. I can get fuel, wood products, and paper and cardboard. So based off of both of these paragraphs, boys and girls, I can say that trees are very important. They help the earth a lot. They make oxygen, and they're used for many, many different things. Okay, so I'm going to write that over here. Trees are very important. Not sure why it's blurry, guys. There it is. And it's actually a good time to think about trees and how important they are, guys, because tomorrow we celebrate Earth Day. You're hearing a lot about Earth Day right now, but the actual day that we celebrate, the actual day of Earth Day is tomorrow, the 22nd. Right? So trees are very important. Next paragraph. How do we make cardboard? How do we make cardboard? Here we go. There are a lot of steps involved in turning a tree into a product such as cardboard. First, here's a transition word, and it's telling me what they do. First, trees are cut down. Okay. Then they are chopped into logs. Then they are chopped into logs. So first they cut down the trees, then they chop them into logs. The logs are taken to a sawmill. Okay? So then the logs are taken, I'm going to underline, not highlight. They're taken to a sawmill. The bark is removed. The bark is removed. Logs are made into planks, boards, and other pieces or chips of wood. So after the bark is removed, the bark, boys and girls, as remember, is what covers the outside of the tree. After the bark is removed, the logs are made into, let me underline that, they're made into planks, boards, and other pieces or chips of wood. Wood chips are used to make cardboard. So they use the wood chips to make cardboard. And here in the caption, it says, these are some of the steps to turn a pine tree into a pizza box. There they are chopping down the pine tree. They cut them into logs, and they are taken to a sawmill. And at a sawmill, boys and girls, they use special machines to remove the bark, and then they turn that bark into several things. They might turn it into a plank, a board, pieces of wood, or wood chips, which is what you have here, wood chips. Okay? So you have 3 steps here. Cut down the tree. They turn them into logs and take it to a sawmill. And at the sawmill, they turn those logs into several things, wood chips being some of them. Okay. So here on this page, we talked about how first, let's write down the steps, the trees are cut down. Trees are cut. So what happens first? Second, right here where it says then, they are chopped into logs. So we'll say chopped into logs. What happens after they are chopped into logs? Go back to your paragraph and look. They are taken to where are they taken? to a sawmill. That's step 3. Taken to a sawmill. And at the sawmill, the bark is removed. Okay. So we'll do step 4. There's a lot of steps, boys and girls. This has a lot of steps. Step 4, the bark removed. Okay. After the bark is removed, that's when those logs, step 5, they become planks, boards, or wood chips. I'll say the logs become planks, boards, or wood chips. Okay. This is a lot, and we're still not done. Okay, we are still not done with making the cardboard box. So first, on this page here, in this paragraph, it gave us the first couple of steps. First, the trees are cut. Second, they are chopped into logs. Third, they are taken to a sawmill. Fourth, the bark is removed. And then fifth, the logs, they become planks, boards, or wood chips. If you need to pause this to write it down, go ahead. I am going to go and turn the page and continue reading. I want to see what the next steps are. Okay. Oh, excuse me, guys. Oh. Paragraph 4. Next. Right here. Next, the wood chips become pulp. The wood chips become a pulp. Wood pulp is soft and soggy. Okay. I imagine this, boys and girls, to be like they took a whole bunch of wood chips and they put them all in one, maybe like a huge vat, and then they wet them. So the wood chips become really wet and soggy. Okay? A pulp, again, is when they become soft and soggy. All right? It gets pressed into thin rolls of strong paper. Look at that. After it becomes a pulp, then it gets pressed into thin rolls of strong paper. I'm going to write those steps down next because I don't want to forget. Over here, we finished with step 5. So this is going to be step 6. So step 6 was the wood chips become pulp. I'm going to write that down. Wood chips become a pulp. And again, that just means that they get all soft and soggy. And then after it's turned into a pulp, it gets pressed into thin rolls of paper. That's step 7. It is pressed. It is pressed into thin rolls of paper. Okay. So again, step 6, the wood chips, they become a pulp, and then they take that pulp and they press it into thin rolls of paper. Let's see what happens next. If you want to pause this to write this down, you may. Okay. Paragraph 5, I'm sorry. 3 layers of paper at a time are then fed into a machine. So then they take 3 layers of paper. Like over here, it makes a small layer, a thin layer of paper. They take 3 of those and then they put them into a machine. They are fed into a machine. The machine folds the paper. So then the paper gets folded. It glues the paper together, and then it gets glued. The pine tree is now cardboard. Ah, and then now we have cardboard. That's pretty cool. Okay? So again, over here, first it becomes a pulp, and then they roll that pulp. They press it into thin rolls of paper, and then they take 3 of those papers, 3 of those layers, and they put those in a machine. The machine folds the paper, it glues the paper together, and then now it is cardboard. The cardboard can be cut, shaped, and printed on. It can then be folded into different types of finished products. Now the cardboard is ready, and then it's sent off, and it could become a pizza box. There's a pizza box. Let's go ahead and finish up our steps, okay? So I left off over here with number 7, when it is rolled and it's pressed into a thin roll of paper. So step 8, okay, right here where it says 3 layers of paper at a time are fed into a machine, okay? So they put 3 of these papers into a machine. 3 papers, or 3 layers, are put in the machine. And what does the machine do to them, boys and girls? It folds the paper and it glues the paper together. That's step 9. The machine folds the paper and glues the paper together. And now you have cardboard. So step 10, I'm just going to write down cardboard. No, we'll say now we have cardboard. Oh, this is going to go over to this side. Now we have cardboard. Let me zoom out so you can see it. So step 6, the wood chips become a pulp. Step 7, it is pressed into thin rolls of paper. Step 8, they take 3 of those layers of paper and they put them into a machine. Step 9, the machine folds the paper and glues the paper together. And step 10, you have cardboard. So 10 steps, boys and girls, in how to make cardboard. Tomorrow, we are going to read about how do we use cardboard. What are the different things that we use cardboard for, okay? If you did not finish this side over here, you can put the video on pause and then go ahead and finish it up, all right? Let me put my sticky note here so that I know where I left off. Again, tomorrow we'll continue with this side, okay? Let's go on to our next item here. We have math, chapter 9, lesson 5, analyze bar graphs. Okay. I also want to say thank you to those of you that are taking the time to send me your homework. I had homework sent from Jeremiah, Camila, Josue, Denoma sent me some homework. Kimberly has sent me some homework. Thank you guys to those of you who are sending your homework, okay? Before I get started with today's lesson, which is over here, analyze a bar graph, I want to go over the homework that some of you guys sent me yesterday, okay? Here is last night's homework, and there is a date on there. You were supposed to here take this tally chart and turn it into a bar graph, okay? And it should look like this. The Robin, there was 3 people. So Robin, I have 3. The blue jay, there was 2 people. Okay, so blue jay, you should have 2. The swan was 4. So swan, I have 4. And the flamingo was 5. Flamingo, 5. That's this page. Let me turn the page. Oh, let me take my sticky note off here. Right here. Right here, number 2, you were supposed to use the tally chart to make a bar graph. In this tally chart, they surveyed what was people's favorite color. 4 people liked red, 5 people liked blue, 4 people liked pink, and 2 people liked green. And my bar graph shows exactly the same information, except it's in bars. So we have red for 4, blue 5, pink 4, and green 2. And then number 3 said this: 15 people voted on their favorite field trip. 2 voted for the symphony. 5 voted for the zoo. The same number voted for the museum and the aquarium. Okay? So first I put down the information that they told me here. 2 voted for the symphony. So symphony, I have 2. And then it says 5 voted for the zoo. So for zoo, I have 5. And then it said the same number of people voted for the aquarium and the museum. Okay? So that was 4 here and 4 here. Okay? And then your vocabulary check here. It says circle the bar graph. Is that a bar graph? Is that a bar graph? Or is that a bar graph? And you should have circled this one. This is a bar graph right here. Do you guys remember what this one's called? This one is called a picture graph. And this is called a tally chart. Okay. For today, boys and girls, we are only going to be doing this page. And then your homework will be this page. All right? You are going to be using this information here to answer these questions. Okay? And then tomorrow we'll do this. Again, for today for math, you are only doing this page here, page 555 and 556. Okay? And that's exactly what it says on my board here. So number 2, if you look at math, it says chapter 9, lesson 5, page 555 and 556. We are not doing the whole lesson today, okay? All right. So let's go and begin here. I have my date. And today we're going to analyze the bar graph. Remember that when you hear that word analyze, boys and girls, it just means to study. You're going to study the bar graph and you're going to answer some questions. So analyze is kind of like to observe or to look at or to study. To study something. If you're analyzing it, I'm analyzing something. You're studying it. Okay? So right here. On the bottom here, the teacher directions say to survey 10 people. Ask them which dinner is the healthiest. Make a bar graph. So I'm going to grab my crayons. Okay. And it says to survey 10 people. Okay. I don't have 10 people, and I'm not sure that you guys have 10 people either, so I want you guys to do the same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to make up the numbers, okay? So let's say that I asked 10 people which one they thought was the healthiest dinner. And 4 people said chicken and broccoli. So I'm going to go here, 4. I'm going to color my 4. I'm using a purple crayon. So 4 people said chicken and broccoli. I'm sorry, guys. It's not the best coloring. Trying my best here. 4 people said chicken and broccoli. 1 person thinks that pizza's healthy. Actually, let's do 2. 2 people think that pizza's healthy. Now remember, we're doing 10 people, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say that spaghetti. 3 people, we'll do 3, said that spaghetti was healthy. Oh, that's 2. Three people for spaghetti. So let me check my total again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one person said milk and cookies was healthy. Only one. There is our bar graph. All right. For chicken and broccoli, I have 4 people. For pizza, I have 2 people. For spaghetti, I have how many people? 3 people. And for milk and cookies, I have 1 person. All right. So again, we use this bar graph to answer these questions. Turn the page. All right, what you're going to do here, and this is going to be your homework. Remember, you're only doing this page. Do not do this page. We will do this one tomorrow. Okay? So go ahead and put today's date up here. I'm going to put today's date here for 21/2020. Okay? And let's take a look at the charts here. It says, Owen surveyed his classmates. Remember, surveyed means that he asked them a question about their favorite ice cream flavors. Then he made a bar graph to show the data. So here's his data. First, he made a tally chart here. Okay. So chocolate, I have 5, 6, 7 people. 7 people for chocolate. Vanilla, I have 3. Looks like 3, yeah. Strawberry, 5. Mint, and 6 there. All right, and then he took this information and he made a bar graph. And check this bar graph out, guys. This is different than the one we've been doing because our bar graphs that we've been doing have been vertical. They've been going this way. This one is this one is vertical. Sorry. This is vertical. The ones that we've been doing have been going horizontal, okay? These are vertical. They're going up and down. So chocolate, here is 7. Vanilla, here is 3. Strawberry, here is 5. And mint is 6. Which one is your favorite? Which one is your favorite? Mine is mint. I know I like chocolate, but ice cream, I like chocolate ice cream too, but one of my favorites is mint. So he surveyed 21 classmates. Okay? And I know that he surveyed 21 because if I count each of these guys, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Or I can just go 7 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 equals 21. What I want you guys to do for your homework is I want you to use this information here to answer these questions. And I'm going to read them to you. Number 1. The flavor with the least votes is, remember, least is the one with the smallest number of votes. The least votes is. Number 2, chocolate received 2 more votes than which flavor? It says chocolate received 2 more. So chocolate received these 2 more than which flavor? All right. Number 3, what 2 flavors did 11 students vote for? So you're looking for the 2 flavors that add up to 11 students. And then you write the flavors here. This is your math homework for tonight, guys. When you are done with it, snap a picture and text it to me or send it to me on Dojo. Do not do this page. Only this one. This is your homework for tonight, okay? All right. Let's continue. Let's go on to social studies where we will read about, we're still doing lesson 2, different kinds of families. We are reading about immigrant families. Here is my social studies book. I am on page 10 and 11. I have my date up here for 2020. Some of you, this might look familiar to some of you guys. We did these 2 pages on our packet. It's in there, okay? We're gonna do it again, okay? So follow along as I read. And this one is called Immigrant Families. And again, remember, we are still doing lesson 2, different kinds of families, and we are reading about immigrant families. Yesterday, you guys read about, what was it? How families are organized. We talked about generations of families. Today, let's review immigrant families. Follow along. Okay. I do have my highlighter ready in case I have to highlight some stuff and make some notes. A person who moves from one country to another is called an immigrant. Many immigrant families leave their homes to make a better life in the United States. So look, immigrant families, boys and girls, they leave their homes to make a better life in the United States. Some of us might have family members like that. I know my mom. She grew up in Mexico with her parents, my grandparents, and they decided to leave Mexico to make a better life in the United States. That's what they did. That's how they got here. Some families wanted freedom to practice their religion. Others want to live in a country that is safe. So that's another reason why they might move. Well, actually, there's 2. For freedom of religion, because they want to practice their own religion. Okay? And they want to move because maybe they don't feel safe where they live, so they want to move to an area where they feel safer. Better jobs and schools may also bring people to the United States. Some people, they move to another country because they're in search of better jobs and schools, guys. Can you imagine how lucky you guys are that you have schools to go to? And even now that we're not in school, you're still getting an education. We're not physically in school, but you're still learning. Imagine how lucky you are. Some people move to the United States for that. Okay? So again, better jobs and schools may also bring people to the United States. In some cases, immigrants join family already living here. Okay, some of you might have had this experience already. Your family might move from Mexico, so they're an immigrant family, and they might move in with you. You already live here, so you guys are all living together. Again, in some cases, immigrants join family already living here. When they arrive, many immigrants want to become United States citizens. A citizen is a person who belongs to a country. Citizens have the right to live, work, and vote here. So if you're a citizen, you have the right to live here, you have the right to work here, and you have the right to vote here. Immigrants can take a citizenship test. Then they take part in a ceremony to become new citizens. So what happens, boys and girls, is a lot of people who move to our country, they're immigrants, they want to become citizens here. They have to take a test, a citizenship test. Once they take that test, and if they pass it, they go to a ceremony, and they kind of give them like a certificate, and that certificate shows that they are now they've become new citizens of the United States of America. Okay. Number 2, the reading check. Circle reasons families from other countries move to the United States. The reasons why. Okay. Reasons are basically why. Why do other countries move to the United States? And we actually highlighted them. Okay. The reasons are because they might want freedom, okay, to practice their religion. Okay. Others want to live in a country that is safe. They want to feel safe. They want better jobs and schools. Those are the reasons why they might move to another country. Again, because they want freedom to practice their religion. Others want to live in a country where they feel safe. Okay. Some people want better jobs and schools for their kids. Those are the reasons why they might move to the United States, okay, to this country. All right. Tomorrow we will read about, what's tomorrow's lesson? How families are similar. Okay. Let me cover my highlighter here and let's go on. Let's do some science. Okay, I'm on number 4. What is a life cycle? Okay. For this, boys and girls, because we don't have our science book, I'm going to read you guys a story about the life cycle of a butterfly, and this is on Epic. Okay. Hopefully you don't see too much of a glare, but let me show you how I got here. Let me X out of here. If you go to Epic, boys and girls, and I'm on, you see right here where it says all, right here you have books, videos, read to me, audiobooks. I usually tell you guys to go here to read to me because those are the books that are read to you. For this book right here, I'm over here on the one that says, the one that says all, right? And I typed in the life cycle of a butterfly. So if you want to go back and reread this, you can, the life cycle of a butterfly. And it's this book right here. It is an AR book. And I will show you the number. That way you can take the quiz. But I click on it. And since this book is not a read aloud, I'm going to read it aloud to you right now. Okay? This is a level 2.6. But remember, I am reading it to you. So I just want you to follow along. And this is what it looks like. The life cycle of a butterfly. Okay? And the quiz number is right there. 135551. If you don't remember this, or if you're having trouble coming back to the YouTube video to look for this, just text me and I will give you the quiz number. If you don't pass it, text me and I can go back and delete it for you. And then the cool thing is, guys, is that this is on Epic, so you can come back and reread. So let's go ahead and read about the life cycle of a butterfly, because we are learning about life cycles in science. Okay? Butterflies are insects. They live everywhere, but the hottest and coldest places on Earth. There's a butterfly. So pretty. There are more than 15,000 kinds of butterflies. This butterfly is a monarch. The monarch butterflies, guys, are pretty distinct. They have that beautiful bright orange color and the black that's surrounding it. Okay? And there's a reason why their colors are like that. Okay? Hopefully this book will explain it. If not, I can tell you guys why. Okay? Next page. Butterflies grow in stages. The stages of a butterfly's life cycle are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. So again, guys, a life cycle is basically like stages, like steps. Okay? Humans, us, we have a life cycle. Most insects have a life cycle. Almost every single animal has a life cycle. Okay? Kind of like the steps in which they grow in. This is the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay? Again, you have the egg, larva, pupa, and adult. And here it is. And a life cycle, boys and girls, basically means that from beginning to end, when the life of the butterfly is over, it starts again in the same cycle, in the same steps. Okay? So here you have the egg. Oh, I didn't want to touch my screen because this is a touch screen. Let me go back. Why? Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Here you have, I'm going to try not to touch the screen, guys, because it'll go to the next page. Here you have the egg, the larva, the pupa. For a butterfly, another word for pupa, and the word that I use the most is chrysalis. And then after the pupa, you have the butterfly. And then when the butterfly's life is over, the cycle or the steps begin again. The egg, the larva, the pupa, the adult. And then again, the egg, the larva, the pupa, and the adult. And it's called the life cycle, boys and girls, because cycle goes around and around. Okay? Here we go. A male butterfly and a female butterfly mate. The female is then ready to lay eggs. She finds a plant and places her eggs on it. So there's her egg. She finds a plant and that's where she lays her egg. A larva grows inside an egg. A butterfly larva is called a caterpillar. There is the butterfly larva. Soon the caterpillar is ready to hatch. It chews its way out of the egg and eats the whole shell. It doesn't let the shell go to waste, boys and girls. It eats it. Okay? Did I? Sorry, guys. There it is. The caterpillar has a long body with 16 legs. The legs have claws or hooks. They help the caterpillar crawl and hold onto plants. This is the caterpillar. And again, those colors are very important. They are very important. Does anybody know why they're very important? Those colors are there as a warning sign for birds because these caterpillars are poisonous to birds. Okay? If the bird sees these colors on a caterpillar, it won't eat it because it knows that these caterpillars are poisonous to them. Okay? The caterpillar has strong jaws for chewing leaves. It spends all its time eating and grows quickly. These caterpillars eat all day long. The caterpillar grows so much that its skin becomes tight. The caterpillar is ready to molt. Its skin splits open. The caterpillar crawls out of its old skin. Its new skin soon hardens. There's the old skin that it crawled out of, and then now it's got its new skin. The caterpillar eats, grows, and molts again. It molts 4 or 5 times. The caterpillar is now fully grown. It looks for a safe place to rest. There it is. That's what it looks like when it's fully grown. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. There. The caterpillar drops sticky liquid from its body onto its resting spot. The liquid hardens into a pad. The caterpillar hooks its back pair of legs into the pad and hangs upside down. The caterpillar's skin splits open and falls away. The caterpillar has changed into a pupa. So first it's hanging like that, okay? And then its skin starts to kind of molt. And eventually it'll look like that. And then the skin will fall away. A hard case called a chrysalis covers the pupa. The pupa changes into an adult butterfly inside the chrysalis. Okay. The new butterfly breaks out of the chrysalis. It stretches its damp wings until they are flat. There's the steps of that happening. At first, the wings look like they're all wrinkled up, okay? And then it begins to stretch out its wings until they're nice and flat. Now the butterfly is ready to fly. It will mate and a new life cycle will begin. The end. Okay. Again, there is a quiz number for when you guys are ready to take this quiz. You may go back to Epic and read the story again. Just remember that it does not read it to you, boys and girls. You have to read this one. Or you can go back to Epic and then just go back to the video here and follow along with me. Again, it looks like that. All right. And the last thing we have for today is PE. And today's PE is titled Commercial Break. Okay? And if I go to my calendar here, 21st, it says commercial break. Can you hold a plank for an entire TV commercial break? I have somebody to help me with this section. Okay, so give me a second. Let me go get my help. Okay. Joel, you're up. Mr. Lopez is going to help me, guys. And for this, you do need your TV. So he's going to turn on the TV. We're here in our living room. You need the TV, Joel. And wait for a commercial, boys and girls. And the point is that you need to hold it's called a plank. If you don't know what a plank is, Mr. Lopez is going to show you. You have to hold the plank for the whole commercial time. When the commercial starts, you get in position, and when it's over, you're done. And see how many of those you can do. He's getting the TV ready for a commercial. We should have had it ready before. Come on, Mr. Lopez. Maybe another channel. Volume's not working. Okay, well, let's just show what but I need something with a commercial. Wow, please change it more. Please change it more.
Kitty.
Okay, can you just show what a plank is?
Oh.
Yeah. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. There you go. So here is what a plank is, boys and girls. And you have to hold the plank for the whole commercial.
Many dogs end up at
See how many of those you can
Misha here
hold. It should be for about, what, 20 seconds? And then when it's done, you can rest. You can rest. So check to see how many planks you guys can do. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Just like the dogs